Kotep Senut I Tiran I Shakandugu Kemet. The title of this video is Chief X is formidable according to the butler. The sound is loud and clear. Now, for those who don't know, Chief X is somebody who claims that the ancient Egyptians were Caucasians from pre-dynastic times until today. It says that the modern Egyptians are the ancient Egyptians. Now we have the clown Reggie, who brings to you Jafar, who is kissing his behind, licking his boots. It's if you don't know the meaning of formidable, one synonym of formidable is impressive. So somebody's going to state publicly, live on air, that the ancient Egyptians were Caucasians from pre-dynastic time, and the butler doesn't find anything better to say that the dude is formidable. If I'm not mistaken, when the lame butler clown Reggie was speaking with Walter Williams, I've played it already. He proposed that Walter Williams have a debate with him, with two other people. That shows you already how weak and lame he is. He always needs backup. He needs all the help he can get. He can't do anything by himself. The dude doesn't have a platform, doesn't have a YouTube account where he's uploading or posting, doesn't have a blog, doesn't have a book. He said that he has one article, maybe two. I saw one of them in a journal. I didn't see any DOI number, but it's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Jafar says Chief X said Wujau agrees with him. I dealt with Wujau's claims already. So, see earlier, I wanted to just listen again to the last stream on Smash Rockwell's platform. And the video that I went through actually was not the last stream that took place earlier. Jafar wrote Batikula Gang Scholarship. And I happened to come across the live stream while I came on, but it's time when I left. And right after I left, guess who comes in? The butler. So I heard a little bit of what he said, and I'm just going to play it and make my commentary. But just like the fake linguist, the former linguist, who waited for me to leave to go on the chat and says that I don't have any integrity, the dude who plagiarized, I mean, it's the world upside down. The same dude who plagiarized several books has the nerve to say that I have no integrity. They wanted to do a group effort, it backfired at them. Now, before, let me just, this one. Just so that it is out the way. That's the video that I made after I spoke with Chief X. Chief X is a grown man. Doesn't need somebody to act like his daddy. But some people, they like to do the group effort by themselves. They don't hold any weight. So were the ancient Egyptians Caucasians? Chief X and I can discuss it. I told Chief X he's welcome. He decided not to. End of the story. But a Reggie dude, the same guy who gave information to a Hebrew Israelite when he was about to debate a Kemetic person, and still now he is actually helping Garfield to go against Jabari. A guy who recently said that he is not Kemetic, and I'm fine, to each his own. The same guy who makes pseudo claims like Heru is Greek. Now he's And not only he said that he's formidable, but like I've documented already, he congratulated Chief X right after Chief X said that the ancient Egyptians were Caucasians. So it shows you that, unfortunately, it's sad to say, but like I've said before, he's on the decline. He's behaving like a clown. How are you going to congratulate somebody right after he said that the ancient Egyptians were Caucasians? Unless you agree with that. This guy is the type of dude, you're cool with him, then you have a disagreement, he's going to side with your worst enemy. Do you think, brothers and sisters, that I'm going to be cool with some people that I'm not cool with normally just because the person disagrees with Reg? That's not the way I get down. But anyway, let's discover together. Now, Smash Rockwell wrote, Chief X is the lead singer in Pseudomundo. Pseudomundo. Now, brothers and sisters, you need to watch Smash Rockwell's last one. He put this music video and he was making voiceovers. Oh, this is so funny. And it's good to have a life. I like it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my girl and my daughter are looking at me like, what's wrong with him? So, welcome to you, Smash. Let me just play. Let me just share it. And still to this day, I have not listened yet to what he said after he told me F you twice, then F him. And then later on, he told me F you again. And then there was another stream, can't remember which one it was. And I stopped at one point and I told people, okay, I haven't listened to the rest. I'll listen to it later. And honestly, I thought, forget about it. But now that I see it's still at it, who knows, I might go and listen to the rest and address it because, if I don't clear my name, who's going to do it? If he talks about stuff that I said or that I did, I'm like, okay. But the dude is trying to create a narrative. He's disingenuous. He is disingenuous. And he is lying as well. Him and Garfield. You heard Garfield about his degree. Apparently, there's two different names, two different fields. The same guy who's trying to say that Jabari is the same guy was trying to allege that Jabari was scamming, that Jabari was the head of a cult. The dude has a degree. He writes a book. He's a public figure. That's what he even says in the back of his book. He's known in the conscious community, but yet for whatever reason, he doesn't want people to know his middle name or whatever that is. I mean, it's just weird, man. It's just weird. Anyway, let's go through it. So what I'm going to do actually is play from the time I got on, and you will see when I leave, and you will see shortly after, about a minute after, or 2 minutes after, the butler come in, and we're going to see what he says. I had prepared a link. Yeah, I have it there. There it is. So this video is entitled Stolen Legacy. Everything comes from Kemet, question mark. So let me put that in the chat. Ramongezi, how you doing? The dude could have hollered on my platform, you know. And I did say, actually, I did say, you will hear me say, you will hear me say, it's all good. Now, is it sharing? Yes, so let's go.
At the views, then they be like,
I know.
Yeah, they don't want to click on. So thanks for giving me a chance
Okay.
to commercial.
You could jump on my live this evening and share it again one more time.
Okay, I sure will. And I just put that in the chat right there, and I'm going to put it in the YouTube chat. For any of us, I'd be surprised, like, yo, why ain't nobody trying to get this money? That's what I'd be thinking. And for me, the system that I thought of, it requires people to interact with it for it to work. So, yo, write a proposal, say I want to go to go to this museum and make a collection of these certain artifacts, and I need this much money. It's not me you're trying to convince, it's the people in your own communities. And it shouldn't be hard to get your followers and stuff to click like or something like that. So yeah, there we go.
Thank you very much. And my name is Monica.
Oh, okay. Thank you for saying that. You know, I heard brother say that before, but I never heard you say that. And so when I seen the way your name was written, I was like, are they taking some type of license with her name and just trying to pronounce it? So I'm glad that you said that, Monica. Because you know, sometimes I just say Sister Lamb because of my confusion.
Yeah. I figure I say this the first encounter. Let me correct them now before he get too funny and then everybody be arguing. I thought her name was Monica.
No, it's Monica. It's Monica. You feel me?
All right. Thank y'all.
Thank
y'all
you.
have fun.
Oh, you too.
Bye-bye.
Peace, Shaka.
Yeah, peace, brother. You know, something very special happened, and you know me very well. When Reggie said that he's not a Captain Saver HOE, and he basically congratulated Chief X after Chief X said that the ancient Egyptians were Caucasian from pre-dynastic time until today, that the modern Egyptians are the same as the ancient Egyptians. He was very happy, thinking that, you know, I was smashed or some way I was destroyed in a discussion that was not a debate. But the most interesting is that you probably recall Reggie saying that I lied by saying that Sheikh Anta Diop wanted some samples, some melanin samples. Do you recall him saying that?
Well, I think it was a discrepancy in the way that it was stated, because one person had said, one person said DNA test as if we were talking about the genome. And the counter argument that was the genome wasn't mapped, and then he actually wanted samples to do melanin test. And so that's how I recalled it.
Well, for the record, he's on tape, and he said that I lied, saying that Diop wanted melanin sample, and he had it before the human genome was decoded. So what I did simply in my video is pull up General History of Africa, Volume 2, and it's around page 35 or something like that, but I gave all the references. I've linked directly to the UNESCO website. Nobody's going to say that the UNESCO is pseudo. And this is Sheikh Anta Diop himself writing that he took some melanin sample from a mummy, and he got it from the anthropology laboratory from the Musée de l'Homme, which means Museum of Man in Paris. And that for 2 years, he begged the Cairo Museum to give him samples of several kings like Ramesses, Seti, and so on. But that was in vain. So it's just a shame that once again, Brother Reggie, who's full of profanity now, is making once again a fool out of himself. Because he was Sheikh Anta Diop himself. So it's not the fact only that Diop wanted to do some melanin test, but he actually done it before. Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, I hear you. I just let you speak your piece.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. He was rejoicing. I mean, he said that all my information was wrong, that all my arguments were wrong, that I got flat tired, that I don't have the skill set. I mean, he went on a tirade. And, you know, like I said, his hate is blinding him. Just like the first time when I presented some information, instead of looking at my source and dealing with it, he had a automatic mechanism of rejecting my information. And then he said I was using the wrong methodology. And he went on for 40 to 50 minutes only to end up saying, I need to do more research. And just yesterday, same thing. He rejoiced, saying that I lied on Diop because he wanted to do melanin sample. And that's exactly what Diop himself said. General History of Africa, Volume 2. And you can find it. I've shared the link in my chat. It's hosted on the UNESCO's website. That's a bad look. And Brother Reggie is apparently the highest ranked member of Garfield's team. So it's a shame when the highest member is not only pseudo for saying that that Heru is Greek, but it's also no longer making any sense because of his hate that is blinding him. But anyway, what I said is that if at least Reggie admits that he was wrong by leaving a message in the comment, I'm prepared to offer him for us to talk. If he doesn't want to, it's fine. He can continue. I told him he can get anybody he wants. I'm down. I'm built for it. Because Reggie said he wants all the smoke, but just yesterday I showed that he threatened to take legal action against some brothers because he didn't like their posts and comments. He threatened to sue them. I've documented that.
All right, that's cool. I'm glad you said your piece, but I don't want to make my content on my show about that.
I understand. But you heard he said F you like 5-6 times. The first 2 or 3 times he said it, I let it slide. And later on he said it again. And then I bounced. And then he waited for me to leave because he was there when I was talking with Chief X. He waited for me to leave to say, I'm not a captain, save a hoe. I'm like, okay, fine. But now he has an opportunity to stop making a fool out of himself. We can talk like grown men on my platform. We've spoken before. I wasn't irrelevant then, even when he asked me to present some information. So we can talk and he can stop making a fool of himself. If he doesn't want to talk, he can get all the members, all the team he wants. I'm prepared for whatever comes my way. So you should make a wise choice, Brother Reggie, because it's really a bad look for real.
What y'all should do is just pick a topic and debate.
Well, I don't think we need to. Hold that to you.
Hold that to you. Otherwise, y'all are just going back and forth. And if you're going back and forth, he's on one channel, you on another channel. You're talking about each other as opposed to the information.
And another thing you got to think about it is a good time to take out the quick grievance, but he's not here, and that don't really make for the best content. And so if your content is so individualized, it becomes, it's fun for watching, but I think people really like my show because we teach a lot. And that's one of your most valuable assets. And so if you start to focus on that more, it will allow more growth. I'm not talking about personal, but I'm even talking about your channel and everything. Because I even watch and I understand we get on our platforms to express ourselves like I just did. So I'm not charging you with anything, but I'm saying it's individualizing. Now we're talking about Reggie, and that's not what I intend to do. So
no, I understand. I understand you, but I've been doing this for 18 years, and I've never seen anybody saying "F you" to somebody several times, and then later on indirectly labeling him as a HOE. But I'm not expecting anybody to say anything. But for yesterday, somebody was saying, "Oh, those brothers going at it and everything like that." I'm not the one who call people name. We're supposed to deal with scholarship, but we have somebody that calls me name using profanity several times, and that's not the character of a scholar or somebody who talks about my art. So once again,
we caught it then. You know what I'm saying? That's why you as a scholar, him as a scholar, you don't want it to keep going on. If anything, if you guys have to hatch something out, set up a topic on your information, do a debate on a neutral channel, and then the rants can go because you're talking about information as opposed to talking about each other, right? Because both of you are good brothers. There's no need to try to tear each other down.
I agree with you, Osam Khan, and I would say we don't need a topic. He can come and we can talk about whatever he wants. I'm not going to prepare anything, just like I was trying to do last time. Like, you have some other things you want to get off your chest, so he has this opportunity now. It's like an extended hand. If he doesn't want to do it, it's fine. But, whenever I'm being attacked and my scholarship and my character is being attacked, I have a right to defend myself. So what I would like people to remember is that he has an opportunity and we can talk like we used to before. We talked many times on my platform. So it's on him. If he wants to do it, we can do that. If he doesn't want to, it's fine. All right.
Thank you.
So thank you, brothers. Appreciate you.
What's up with I don't know what you think about statements. Well, I'm gonna go as far as to go have a Hebrew conversation. I'm just gonna have some fun on Sinaitic TV, showing all of these words of God, breaking it down, how the Proto-Sinaitic script actually comes off of Why you think they call it the proto-Sinaitic script? Nah, they not understanding that. And then in their story, they get something called the words of God from a man named Moses up on Mount Sinai. But we see their first scribble scrabble coming off the proto-Sinaitic script. And so I would love to get into a discourse with some of my Hebrew brothers. If y'all out in the chat, or feel free, don't feel like, this is the land of me, Jai.
Okay, so I'm gonna move forward. You will see that I'm gonna 2 hours 28 minutes, and about basically 2 hours 29 minutes. That's where I bounce. Then I move forward, and 2 hours 30 minutes. Here comes the butler. So I'm gonna move forward because he had some mic issues, and I think I have a timestamp 2:31:40. That's where we can hear him loud and clear. But let's listen up.
Let me just turn this up. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you good now.
All right. Look, I'm not going to belabor the point. If you watch the video, Shaka came on to talk to Chief X. He was driving. Now, Chief X is formidable. We don't agree with him, but he's formidable. He knows how to stick to his arguments. So the dude tried to attack Chief X.
Now, that's the kind of thing I don't like. I'll share the link once again. Where the ancient Egyptians Caucasians, Chief X and I can discuss it. You can just watch the video. You can see how Chief X and I spoke. It was the first time we spoke. Well, we haven't spoken ever since. He left some comment on my channel. I left some comments on these channels, on this channel. I wasn't trying to attack him at all. I don't like this narrative. Reggie is a snake. Reggie is lying. Reggie is inconsistent. Reggie is a fence rider. And all of this because I asked him, did a bird have sex with a man? That's it. I don't know how he felt. He must have felt challenged. He didn't have an answer for it. He got angry. He got angry. Then I brought up the fact that he's on the website of the University of Amen. And who else is on there? The former linguist, saw him or fake, the cultural theorist. So he, Reg, the butler, made some video. I showed you where he was going at their book, saying that they should change it. So the plagiarism has been addressed. And several strange / pseudo claims. But yet he's part of the team. He got angry and said, you're effing lying. And then after he said, I'm not gonna talk to him again. I'm like, it is what it is. I ain't gonna beg you. Then as a revenge, I took up a Garfield's challenge and I showed an attestation where a virgin is described as a virgin. My source was the German dictionary. Now, as a revenge, those guys got together with Body Sean, and like I said, it's not complicated. I was put on hold for 40 to 50 minutes. All this time, the butler was doing Google scholarship, looking for anything to refute me. His hate is always blinding him. Garfield kicked me out 3 times. Then in the chat, I wrote that I was kicked out. Then Garfield said that I was crying like a girl, that we all grown men, that I don't have any discipline. Then I bounced. Then I put a smackdown on the little homies because that is disrespectful. Garfield came on my platform. I never put him on hold for half an hour or more. I never kicked him out 3 times. I never even kicked him out anyway. Same for anybody. So they wanted to make me look bad, on some punk tip, and it backfired at them. You understand what I'm saying? So I want people to remember that because people like to say, well, you're going back and forth and stuff like that. I was not the aggressor. And just because the dude is older, just because the dude is 57 years old, that doesn't give him the right to use profanity towards me, to tell me F you. Like I've said, like you heard me say, I've been in this for 18 years. I don't recall saying any people that usually speaks in the so-called conscious community saying F you to another person, let alone several times. I don't recall that. All right. But some people want to make excuses because the dude is 57 years old. It's on them. I don't accept that. That's bad character. Right. So now he's saying that I attacked Chief X. I was trying to attack Chief X. That's a wrong narrative. That's Isafet. That's falsehood. It's not truth. It's not mine. Oh, by the way, Reggie said that I was evil, that I was not mad. He said that I was evil. But that's the dude who said that Heru is Greek. And for the record, for the benefit of the court.
Yeah. I mean, his pharaoh could have been a Greek, but I don't.
Well, I tell you what, Heru was Greek.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because one of the stories of Heru being conceived is during the Greek time period.
And when I said he stated for the record that he's not Kemetic, it's not an allegation.
All right, Reggie, are you Kemetic?
No, I'm a descendant of West Africa, and I study ancient Egyptian culture. And
you already nailed it, Reggie. You already
right.
You got it.
So I am not a member of a cult called the Cometics.
All right. And his sentiments towards Kemetic people?
I don't believe in old Egyptian gods. I don't believe in that stuff. I wasn't even taught that bullshit, right? I'm the one who bangs against the Kemetics. I bang against them and they can't get through me because the gods that they worship, right, were born from another group of thinking, right? So you can't come with me with no goddamn Heru or no other that bullshit. Show it to me in the primary, show it to me in writing, show it to me in the period. You're making the bullshit up.
That's for the record. Let's continue.
Right? And he's driving, so he's really not focused.
Another wrong narrative. I've shared the link once again. Here it is. You have the whole conversation. Yes, I was driving, but I was focused. I was really focused. At one point, the connection was lost. Then once the connection was back on, I called back in, you know. But I mean, this dude is so lame. He's congratulated someone who says that the ancient Egyptians were Caucasians, and he's looking like, what do you say in America? Cherry picking. He's been nitpicking for anything. So basically, it's as if I was wrong for calling in what I was driving. When we seen him, in the street, and this different kind of nose and stuff like that, it's all good. Whatever he does, it's all good. But apparently now it's wrong to call him on a platform while you're driving. Garfield, we hear him, going out the house, doing all kind of stuff, whatever. It's all good. But I mean, I'm not tripping on that. But this is important. This is a narrative that's trying to put, as if I'm reckless.
And so from the points that he raised, Shekante Diop was looking for his points were on melanin. DNA the human genome had not been reconstructed, right?
And now you can check the video. It's entitled, and I'm going to share the link. Actually, it's good that I think about it, because in that video, where the ancient Egyptians, Caucasians, Chief X and I can discuss it, it's not the full conversation, actually. So it's a good thing he said that. The full conversation is in that video, entitled, Reggie is not a Captain Saver HOE, he's an idiot. In parentheses, Diop melanin dosage test. I mentioned Diop and the melanin dosage test. When I left, the butler congratulated Chief X, said that I lied about Diop wanting melanin sample. He made a fool of himself. Then I quoted General History of Africa, Volume 2. And I read Diop himself saying that he had already done a melanin dosage test and he wanted to do it on several royal mummies, and he begged the Cairo Museum for 2 years and they wouldn't give it to him. So he made a fool out of himself, thinking that I was wrong, saying all kind of things. Oh, you fly tired of him. He's talking to Chief X. Congratulations, good job. You fly tired of him. All his arguments were wrong. He was all the way wrong. Now that I show he made a fool out of himself, and like I said, if he had some integrity, he should have said at least, well, I was wrong on that. If you had if you had self-respect, you should have said I was wrong about that. If you had integrity, you should have apologized. But I said I wasn't expecting that from him. But at least if you had some self-respect, he would have said, well, I was wrong about that. You know? And instead of admitting he was wrong about that, he's going on, he's picking, looking for something else to say, while congratulating the guy who says that the ancient Egyptians were Caucasian. I mean, we are in a new era now. Why does he get a pass? Probably the age. I don't know what else it could be.
So, and Diop's previous work, he had made some errors based on DNA because he was.
What does it have to do with anything I mentioned? But now he's congratulating Chief X, but he's saying that Diop made some errors regarding DNA. He's comfortable saying that Diop made some errors, you know. I mean, I don't know what side he's on. I don't know what side he's on.
Was basically saying that the Grimaldi man changed in Africa because of climatic conditions, not being able to factor in the DNA.
So it's funny how he's going to say that Diop was wrong about the Grimaldi man, but he's not saying that Chief X is wrong for saying that the ancient Egyptians were Caucasians. And then when some people labeled Reggie a traitor, he's not happy. He says, some people say that I'm a traitor. What does he expect?
The admixture. I think everybody knows that. The samples that he wanted were samples of the mummies. He wanted, I guess, hair and skin to look for the melanin composition in the skin melanin and in the hair melanin to make that point. This dude said that Cheikh Anta Diop wanted DNA samples.
That's a lie. If you have some self-respect, Reggie, you should state for the record that you were wrong, that you made a mistake. The video is there. You see, Reggie is not a captain, save HOE. He's an idiot. Diop melanin dosage test. Listen to the whole conversation between me and Chief X and show me when I said that Diop wanted to do some DNA test. Now, if he got it twisted, that's on him. If he made a mistake, he misunderstood, that's on him. But he cannot put that on me.
Right? So he got his tires flattened.
There we go again. Reggie misunderstood, and I'm giving him the benefit of that. I'm being diplomatic. But he was just happy to give the impression that I was wrong and to do the victory dance. I talked about the melanin test. I did not talk about DNA. Chief X talked about DNA. But once again, we have a case of somebody who's wrong, and instead of just admitting that he's wrong, he will go all the way. Fine.
Now he's trying to switch the argument. Then he
how am I switching the argument? How? Ask Reggie, can you show us when Shaka and Ndugukeme talked about DNA? When you address Diop? When I talked about Diop, I talked about the melanin dosage test.
He asked Chief X about whether the ancient Egyptians were black. Chief X says what he always says: no, they're Caucasian. Now, He started that with Chief X. He started that, and he wasn't prepared.
It's like he started out with Chief X. What's the problem? I spoke with Chief X, told him, "You're welcome. We can talk about it." But for him to say I wasn't prepared, that's just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. He's trying to put a narrative as if when I spoke with Chief X, I was defeated in the conversation. That's this dude, man. Man, it's more than on a decline, man.
Now, we have a thing in our community where there are a lot of people who parrot arguments, right? And I believe that he was parroting arguments that he was not prepared to deal with.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. I showed, you see that my background picture? That's what I've shown. It's from the Louvre Museum. And I asked Chief X if that is not a black man to him. But Reggie is in here. I mean, he's talking nonsense. It's just sad. He's just sad. He wasn't prepared. When you say Heru is Greek, were you prepared? When Reggie said that the Egyptian kings who built the pyramids were crazy, was Reggie prepared?
So he wanted to come on Smash's show as an opportunity to finally talk to Chief X, and Chief X flattened his tires.
This dude is talking like finally get an opportunity to talk to you, like it was a dream of mine. But my tires got flattened. Okay, fine. Oh, whatever.
You can go back and watch.
Yes, go back and watch, brothers and sisters. I've shared the link.
It's as simple as that. So sometimes people jump up to fight the arguments that we need fought, but they're not the most prepared.
Man, this is the clown who said that Heru is Greek. This is a clown who spoke to I was almost said that, to Walter Williams and proposed to have a debate 3 versus Walter Williams. Who's not prepared? When did I ask for help? When did I ask for backup? But it's all good. Because you're 57 years old, that gets a pass.
So I'm not going to go back. And then the other thing, where it really started was with this whole thing that he reads the TLA or the Water Bush.
Yeah, the TLA or the Water Book. The Water Book. That's what I dealt with. Period. The Water Book.
And he uses the word hemwet or hamwamwet, and he says that it means maiden, and the Water Bush.
He says it means, that's what the Water Book says. It's not what I say.
Says that it says virgin, not the Water Bush, but some other source says.
You see, he's confused. He's confused. And he says the Water Book says virgin. Not the Water Book. That's the Water Book. Jungfrau, if I remember correctly. Jungfrau. That's a German word. There's 2 definitions. There's the word that means maiden and the word that means virgin.
Is that it says that it's virgin because he used some maiden, and the Water Bush says that it says virgin, not the Water Bush, but some other source says.
You heard that? He's confused. He's confused. And you know the funny thing? When I asked him if he watched the video, when he was trying to refute it, he said he didn't even watch it. Probably had a quick look, or maybe somebody told him about the source that I was using. But this guy, he did what? His Google scholarship, the Vigus, the TLA, and that's it. And now he's even confused. Now the dude is saying that not the word. He's confused about when I spoke with Chief X. He's confused thinking that I brought up DNA when I addressed Diop, when I was talking about melanin dosage. Now he's confused about the Water Book and what it says. That's just ridiculous.
Is that it says that it's virgin because he used the German word, and so he.
You hear that? You hear that? He's like Batichon because he uses the German word. When we go through Faulkner, or when we go through James P. Allen or Gardiner, and we tell you the translation, does somebody say, oh, he uses the English word? That just doesn't make sense. That doesn't hold weight at all. This is just a weak talking point. The dictionary is in German. So which word am I going to give? On that dictionary, they don't give no word in Chinese. We have Smash Rockwell in the place to be. Hotep Sen. You're muted, brother. You're muted, brother. We don't hear you. You're muted.
I said you see me, but my phone is all cracked, so I don't show my
Yeah, no
camera. I
problem.
hope you
Yeah, no problem.
understand.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
What's going on?
Oh, well, I'm telling you, I wanted to listen to the last stream earlier. I wanted to listen to part of it towards the end. And I think you did. I think you did good because it went left. It was going left unnecessarily. So I think you did good to end the broadcast. And when I wanted to listen to it, I actually stumbled across that video there. What's the title? Uh, uh, where is it? Yeah, Stolen Legacy. Everything comes from Kemet, and that was 10 days ago. But I
Mhm.
didn't know that as soon as I left, Reggie came on. So now
Oh
I'm
yeah.
playing. Yeah. So now I'm playing because I actually left. That's what happened. It was not a disconnection. So
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
doing now, I'm playing what Reggie was saying, and
Okay,
I'm
I'll watch
making
you
my
do that.
country. Yeah,
I'll watch
and I'm
you
making
do
my
that.
country. Yeah.
And then after that, I'll chime in with a show I just got through watching. Ashar
Yeah.
trying to give an explanation to the video I did this morning about they just so far off. I feel sorry for them. But I'll let you do your thing and
Yeah.
watch, and then we'll talk about that
Yeah.
when you're ready.
Yeah. Of course. Of course. So let's continue.
He wants us to think that there is a one-to-one comparison between ancient Egyptian words and European words. So
There we go. He's doing that thing again. It's like Batishan. So when I'm going to talk to the brothers and sisters, whether they know the Necher or not, and I use a dictionary. If the dictionary is in English, I'm going to say the translation is this in English. If it's German, that the word, the book, then I'm saying that's the word. And I've used, I've translated that word from German to English because some people might speak German, but most of us don't speak German. But now he's focusing on that, a European language. It's like playing the race card. What language do we speak when we communicate? We speak in a European language, which is English. This is a weak talking point, but it's all good. Let's continue.
So just because a German said that it is virgin does not necessarily mean it's virgin without.
Now, it's not just because a German says it means virgin. It's the most complete dictionary of the Medunecher. It's the most complete dictionary of the ancient Egyptian or hieroglyphic language or writing system in the world. It's not just one German dude.
Without looking at the context of the text. So Smash has spent an enormous amount of time looking for the plates, looking for the text, using the right method, and he wants to argue with me.
You see, once again, he's confused. He says Smash has spent some time looking for the text and he wants to argue with me. I'm not aware of what Smash did, to be honest. I'm not aware of what they looked at. And like I said, I was even expecting some brothers, including Smash, to possibly refute what I presented. But I was expecting them to deal with the source, which is the Verda book. But after that conversation, Smash actually made a live stream and he said, you guys are wrong. Y'all wrong. And he showed maiden, and he showed that maiden basically means virgin. But the butler is trying to change the narrative. And then he says he's trying to deal with me. How am I trying to deal with Reg? Every time somebody brought up in the chat, oh, what about the stuff? I said the same thing. Did he deal with the Verda book? Okay, well, let me know when he does. And give me the timestamp. Now, yes, he did a live stream, he did a video like, destroying the virgin myth. Well, I don't know if he talks about my stance or if he talks about the Kemetic Christians as he labels them. If he wants to holler at me, he knows my name. He can put my name. He can come. Some of his friends, his homies, his followers can just let me know, oh, he addressed you at that point. But like I said, did he deal with the Verda book? If he wants to say it is pseudo, it is inaccurate, he can be my guest. He just has to state it. That's all. And he knows he will have plenty of German people who will blast him.
About whether or not, am I going to argue with the Germans? Yeah, I'm going to argue with the Germans because I will.
Well, say it for the record. Don't tell me you're going to argue with the Germans because I did not see you arguing with the Germans. Just state for the record that in the Wörterbuch, book, the translation is wrong. Just state for the record that it's inaccurate. That's all you have to do. Because he didn't have any problem to say F you, F you, F you to me several times. So there, it doesn't have to say F you to any German individual. He just has to say that he is wrong. But he knows better. That's the most complete dictionary of ancient Egyptian language. He already has problem now that he said that Heru is Greek, and now that he's rolling with some known pseudos, with some two different names and two different fields for an alleged bachelor's degree in history that nobody has seen.
I want to see the text. As simple as that, right? Now,
I've shown the text for the record. I've shown the text and I showed the translation of the word, but it's okay.
I did my presentation on the ISIS Set virginity myth, right? I did a full presentation. Where is the brother's full presentation to prove that it was a virgin?
I mean, that's just ridiculous. Garfield said live on air on his own channel that virgin was not a virgin was not Isis was not a virgin, and he said, "Show me Isis being a." I'm paraphrasing. Show me Isis being a virgin on the original text, and he said, "I put $100, and every 10 minutes I will add another $100." The live stream lasted for, if I'm not mistaken, 7 hours. So when you make the calculation, that's $4,200. So that's why in the title I put ISIS described as a virgin on an original text, and then I put probably in parentheses, Garfield, you owe me $4,200. So in the first place, I showed the document, an original artifact, and then I showed the word that is translated as maiden and virgin on the Wörterbuch. But the guy is like, I mean, he's basically saying, asking, where is something that I have already presented? Now, his presentation, like I said, I don't care. He did not mention me. I don't know who is directed at. If he wants to refute the information, all he needs to say is the Wörterbuch is wrong with their translation. It's inaccurate. He can use any vocabulary he wants. That's all he has to say. As simple as that.
So listen, I'm not gonna go back and forth.
When did I ever ask to go back and forth with a homie? The homie waited for me to leave, and like 1 minute later, it goes in. And most of them do that. You've seen Batishon with Garfield. I mean, Garfield on his own platform. Even when I was on Smash platform, I asked Garfield a question. Within a few seconds, you hear Reggie intervene. Then when I'm talking to Reggie, you hear Garfield intervene. Those guys cannot do anything by themselves. They need to be in protective custody with their Power Ranger friends, and as a group, then they will have a little bit of courage. Do you see me with some help, brothers and sisters? So when did I ever try to go back and forth with Reggie? Did you even ask me? I mean, did you even hear me asking to go back and forth with the dude? I'm still saying it now. He knows my name. He can put my name. He can say my name. And if he wants to reveal my information, then he needs to deal with my source. I mean, Batishon, did you see Batishon going to the Vigus dictionary, then going to the TLA? Did you see Reg? Some of you haven't seen the video. He spent 40 to 50 minutes doing Google scholarship. And after this 40 to 50 minutes, he said, well, I need to do more research. How embarrassing. And in the meantime, Garfield was like, oh, yeah, I found this article. Yeah. And then Reggie's like, oh, yeah, send it to me. And just looking for a way. Look at the information first. And then, deal with it. but doing it in real time. But you know, those guys, they do like 8 hour live streams, so I guess they're used to that. I guess they're gonna spend like an hour or 2 hours trying to refute something thanks to Google. But when it's like, I'm not trying to go back and forth. But anyway, he has the right to say that. It's all good.
He is not the one to deal with Chief X. You know who can deal with Chief X?
So now he's kissing Chief X behind again. I'm the one. I'm not the one to deal with Chief X. Okay, fine. You know, that's your opinion. It's okay. I'm not going to lose sleep over that.
Uncle Ket can deal with Chief X. Smash can deal with Chief X. I can deal with Chief X.
Man, you cannot deal with anybody at all by yourself, Reggie. The whole conscious community and people who are not part of the conscious community have heard the butler Reg said to a 90-year-old man, proposing to a 90-year-old man to have a debate, the 91-year-old man versus Reggie and two other people. And one of the two he proposed is a guy that was not long ago pseudo. That's sad.
Right? There are a number of people who can deal with Chief X. It's not him. Now, so the issue is really not with me. He needs to deal with Chief X.
So now with his narratives, he's making it. He's like implying that because of Chief X conversation, I'm going at him. That's ridiculous. When I merely replied to Reg, I didn't wake up and say I'm going to go at him. Chief X, I addressed him. Chief X came and left a comment. He doesn't. Chief X said, "Oh, it's okay to like my video and put a comment on my video." He doesn't want it. It's clear. I stated it. He doesn't want to, and that's fine. He doesn't have to. This narrative I don't like. This is disingenuous. This is misleading. This is wrong. This is Isafet.
That's where it started. I'm just
No. That's not where it started. It started when I asked, did the bird have sex with a man? Then he got angry. And when I brought up the fact that he's listed on the website of the University of Amen, he is part of the crew with Jahi Issa, who wrote the book with Osei and Dr. Salim Faraj, and that book was dragged in the mud in a scholarly manner by Dr. Obadele Campbell. And I read the critique. Jahi Issa was so much in his feelings that he came on my platform trying to grandstand. All right? But those who don't know, you can type in Dr. Campbell, Kambon, and then you write the origin of the word Amen. That's the title of the book or the pamphlet, right? And their response is not even titled as such. On their website of the book, The Origin of the Word Amen, it doesn't say response to Dr. Campbell. He says, why should you buy the book? And when you click on it, you have a PDF that says, well, this is a response. So Reggie is part of that team. He's listed on a website. People who took some Twi word, Twi is a language in Ghana, one of the language in Ghana, and dissected the word to make it match with some Medu natural words. This is pure linguistic acrobatics and linguistic gymnastics. And really, one should not need to be a linguist to know that this is just plain wrong. But worse than that, you have the cultural theorist, the guy who said that Allah is in the Egyptian text, that Allah is an indigenous African god.
Allah, and this is where I would disagree with Brother Shaka, is actually in the Egyptian text. The god Allah is an indigenous African god.
Reggie is criticizing Jabari, but he is listed on the website along with the cultural theorist who says that Allah is an indigenous African god. That alone is a proof that the dude is disingenuous. He's a clown. He's a clown. That's friendship scholarship. You don't have no business criticizing Jabari when you are listed along with the dude. Whoever has integrity. And besides that, some people might say, well, you know, everybody has the right to have some exotical claims. What about the plagiarism? What about Ma'at? What about integrity? A dude is known for plagiarizing. And I told him, but you can ask them to remove you from the website. Let me go on the website now, out of curiosity. Let's see about due diligence. Amen. It's called University of Amen, but the website is called westafricabeyond.org, which is on. Oh, snap. Gonna do this in order. Let me share. People want to give lessons. They are affiliated with plagiarizers. You see that? University of Amen. That's all you need to tap. That's all you need to type. And you see this? westafricabeyond.org. You click on it. You go on presenters. And then when you scroll down, who do you have? Sahimo Fake, software developer, because he's no longer going by linguist. You cannot do that anymore. Dr. Jaisa was talking about due diligence, and Dr. Salim Faraji. So they don't have a problem associating themselves with a known plagiarizer. And who do we have here? The butler. As far as me, I say, no, you know what? We had a nice run, but, I would like to be removed from the website. It doesn't have to. It's on him. So let's continue.
Saying that his arguments weren't good, accurate. He wasn't accurate. He was confusing melanin tests with DNA tests.
Once again, he lies, and everybody can do it. Show me where I talked about DNA test when I addressed Diop. The funny thing is that it is the butler Reg who was confused. It is him who was confused.
And he got his tires flattened. I'm not going to apologize, especially.
He's not going to apologize for what? For what? For congratulating the guy who says that the ancient Egyptians were Caucasians? No, he's not going to apologize for saying F you, F you, F you, F you. And after he told me F you, F him several times, he justified that because I cut him off. Behaving like a barbarian. And he's labeling, or some Kemetic people as Kemetic Christians and Kemetic Greeks. For those who wonder why I nickname him the butler, because it's because he likes to say that he's been in this for 30 years and he likes to name drop. I know so and so and so and so, but you can hold their bag, you can hold their umbrella, you can hold their, you can serve them tea and coffee and buy them, go and buy them drinks, go and buy them food. That doesn't make your information good. Just because you hang with some people doesn't make your information good. So
If you didn't watch the video, right? So then I brought up the tomb of Hoy and showed, so they apologize, especially if you didn't watch the video.
no, I'm not sure what he's talking about, but if he's implying that I did not watch his video, when he was trying to refute me, he stated that he did not watch my video. He was trying to refute something that I said and he did not watch, and he didn't have to watch the full video, but that's fine. I'm not sure what he's talking about right now. I'm saying it again. He knows my name. He knows my platform. I extended my hand. It's been a while now. So it's okay. But you shouldn't think that, after he's doing all of this, then all of a sudden, when Golf is going to get crushed and destroyed, because apparently the debate is on again. It might not be next week, like the 17th, but it might be a week or two after that. We'll see. Some people are going to try to cop please after that,
Right? So then I brought up the tomb of Hoy.
Now, what he's talking about, that's after I left. And he just mentioned it. Okay.
And showed that they were using pallets of people. Right? something that we could show that the Egyptian had palettes of their people from the lighter to the darker, and even with foreign people in Egypt. And the Nubians had palettes of people. And we know that the melanin or the skin, a lot of times you, depending on where you are in the sun, and the Nubians are further down, they will always be slightly darker.
You hear that? Maybe the reason why he proposed Willie Lynch Wuja to go and debate Walter Williams, maybe it's because they're cool and they share the same views. But whatever he's talking about now, that's after I left. I don't know, and he didn't even go and talk about all this. He said, oh, he wanted to do the talk about the skin tone and stuff like that, as if I was wrong. As if I was wrong for showing this painting, which is in the Louvre Museum, and I filmed it already, and asking Chief X, do you think that's black people? I mean, he's just talking for nothing. Right now, he's just talking for nothing. I mean, he can go all the way. What is he trying to say now? Is he trying to say that the ancient Egyptians were not black as well? I mean, he needs to go all the way. If you're listening right now or later on, then just go all the way. Reg, Butler. You congratulate Chief X, who says that the ancient Egyptians were Caucasian. By congratulating him, it's as if you're validating him. For most people, that's just common sense. That goes without saying. But it's all good. To each his own.
Always be slightly darker than most of the ancient Egyptians. But the ancient Egyptians still had the darker palettes. Now, so don't deal with a.
You see, he spoke for nothing. What is he saying that for? What was the point he was making? What was the point he was making? Darker palettes, whatever. I mean, and he's talking about stuff well after I left, And when you watch the video, many of you will laugh or smile because he's very long now about what he allegedly brought up the tomb of Hui, Oh man.
Chief X.
Ujau, Willie Lynch Wuja showed the tomb of Hui. What a coincidence.
When you're driving and you just talk, don't deal with a Chief X when you're driving.
Clown Reggie, the butler, says, don't deal with Chief X when you're driving. When the butler Reggie is comfortably seated in his own home, it doesn't make sense. He says that the Heru was Greek. Remember, brothers and sisters? And maybe he didn't like me bringing that up because Garfield removed the live stream. But Reggie said, Horus is not the son of Asar. He said that Heru is not the son of Asar. Yes, Reggie said that. Plenty of people heard him say that. Is he going to be mad at me for stating that? Or is he going to say, well, I was wrong about that? I disagree. That's what he said. No, he didn't only say that Heru is Greek. He said that Horus is not the son of Asar. And that's the same guy who's going to tell me, don't deal with Chief X while you're driving. How many times have I been on some live stream and I was driving? That's the greatest, strongest talking point ever. That's the advice from a wise man. That's the advice of a so-called elder of the community. Don't deal with so-and-so when you're driving. Oh, well, thank you for that great wisdom.
And you're just talking, and you want people to think that you're smart.
And I'm just talking? That's an artifact. After I left, Reggie was just talking, congratulating the guy who says that the ancient Egyptians were Caucasian. I showed some artifact. He didn't show anything after I left, when he was congratulating the dude. So now, dealing with some artifact is just talking. But saying Heru is Greek, that's scholarship. Saying that Heru is not the son of Asar, that's scholarship. He gets a pass because he's 57 years old and he knows a scholar or two. How embarrassing.
That's why we lose these arguments, because other people are studying. So with that said, my point is, what you really want to see is you want to see Chief X and Shaka and Dougal Kemet.
Now, sometimes as people get older, oh, I wasn't sharing that time. I wasn't sharing. Well, maybe you heard it, but just in case.
Darker. Always be slightly darker than deal with a Chief X. These arguments because other people are studying. So with that said, my point is, what you really want to see is you want to see Chief X and Shaka and Dougal Kemet.
Can you hear me well, and can you hear the video that I'm playing well, brothers and sisters? In the meantime, the last comment, and I will go through the comments as usual. Jafar says Jabari might have problems proving the Hebrews stole from Kemet. I don't think that's what he's going to try to do. And when he said the Hebrews, the oldest Old Testament is not in Hebrew, it's in Greek. Now, the Hebrews in history, I'm not aware of. Are you aware of them? If you are, please show me the artifact. Because the debate is, did the Hebrews steal? Well, what I heard is, was Christianity stolen from Kemet? Now, if they change the title, then something else. Now, when I'm playing the video, can you hear it loud and clear, brothers and sisters? Okay, I will go and listen for myself. Can I go back a little bit? Okay, yes, we can hear it loud and clear. All right. So you just heard the dude. He's making a conclusion now by saying what you really want to see is the chief dude with Shakandugu Kemet. Don't you remember earlier he said that I cannot deal with the chief dude? And he gave all the names of people that can deal with him, but I cannot. Sometimes it's age. Sometimes over time, people, they lose some brain cells, they're not the same. They don't have the same abilities. He also said that I don't have the skill set. But he starts by saying that I cannot deal with the chief. Then he concludes by saying that what you really want to see is me dealing with the chief. Thank you, Big. It's just sad. But Heru's not the son of Asar, though. That's scholarship, though. And then he says, and then that's why we are losing arguments. When he say we, who is he talking about? He's not Kemetic. Who is he rolling for?
That's what you really want to see, right? That's all I have to say on that.
And I was saying, well, if you don't mind muting out, I'm gonna let the brother.
All right, so I don't know if he spoke some more after that. Not really planning on scrolling through and going to see, because he might add on again. He's just butthurt because he said that Horus is not the son of Osar, and he said that Heru is Greek, and he's listed on the website along with the pseudo fake linguist plagiarizer, but he needs all the help he can get, so he's not asking to be removed from the website. As a matter of fact, he's not listed on many websites, so I guess he's holding on to that. He insulted me using profanity, telling me "f you," allegedly because he actually said that I spoke about his parents. Don't he's bringing my parents, and as he was talking when I was addressing Garfield, I said, Reggie's his daddy now. Then as Garfield was talking when I was addressing Reggie, I said, Garfield is his daddy now. And he used that to say, F you, my father's deceased and stuff like that, And later on, he told me, F you, because I cut him off. And he spoke for 4 minutes. Sarnetta called him the B word. Him and Garfield, 2 days later, they went on the platform. So when he asked, like, it was justified for him to tell me, F you, because I cut him off. and a dude says F, says that he's a B, and he goes on the platform 2 days later, shows that he is disingenuous. That's not the real reason. The real reason is his butt hurt because he's talking nonsense, and I highlighted it. His butt hurt because he's trying to make fun of Kemetic people. And when they were talking about ISIS and the bird and asking, did the bird have sex with a man? And he couldn't handle it. So he got in his feelings. And he's creating narratives now, saying that I was attacking GFX, saying that I got flat tired, saying that I don't have the skill set. Same guy who went on my platform several times. Who even asked me to present some information on my platform. And then, because we're in disagreement, he says, I'm not relevant. Some brothers talk about me. Oh, no, 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 don't recommend him. And then saying that I lied about Diop, and then saying that I was confused about Diop and the DNA test. That's just sad, man. But he gets a pass. He's 57 years old. So let me go through the comments, and now I've shared the link. So if somebody wants to get on the panel, I don't know if you're still there, Smash, feel free. And anybody else who wants to get on the panel. So there's not many comments there. Jafar says, when they get into trouble, they scream xenophobia, and you're trying to tell a black American what to think. Well, actually, I forgot that, but I've played it. Butler Reggie told Sekou, you don't have any standing in our community. He told him, you talk to your people, I talk to my people. Greetings to you, Nyame Ubuntu. Whenever I see Nyame, I'm thinking about that Hebrew Israelite who said that Nyame is Yahweh. I mean, you know. So Giant Curve is saying, oh, are you the guy who was in agreement with APEP? For those who don't know, APEP has been blocked because after the live stream, I forgot which live stream it was, but is it the one where I addressed Willie Nee and Wuja? Oh, it might be the one, the Nubian one. I don't see the comment. He was first. But anyway, I remember he wrote, "Are you being paid to be this, to be that pseudo?" That's what he wrote. So I blocked him. We saw his comments in the chat. It doesn't make sense. He doesn't want to come in. I don't even think that's his real picture. You know. So I don't see the comment. Normally, he shouldn't be able to delete his comment if he was blocked, but you know. So I'm wondering if Giant Curve is not the guy who was in agreement with APEP. So he wrote, Melanie Dos's test is not the name of a scientific test, and Diop had no biology background, and it's one mummy. I mean, I don't even know what you're talking about, man. He did it on one mummy from the Musée de l'Homme, Museum of Man, and he begged the Cairo Museum for other samples from other mummy. Now, if you want to say that it is not scientific, it's on you. Do you deal with science yourself? Are you scientific? Are you in the field of science? I mean, it's so funny. I mean, we have all those guys who trying to act like Diop was just a pseudo dude, you know, with some Afrocentric claims. That's crazy. You're so far anonymous and unidentified, and you have the nerve to say that it's not scientific. And then he wrote, but yes, Amenhotep appears to be a black so-called Negroid person. He appears to be a black so-called Negroid person. Does Ludacris appears to be a black person? Does the R&B singer Genuine appears to be a so-called black person? So that's it. I went through all the comments. I'm going to get something to drink. I'll be right back. All right, so somebody want to get on the panel or have any comment to make, do it now. Otherwise, I'll put an end to it. I might address something else after. I'll see if I do it this evening or if I do it tomorrow. So, but it doesn't matter if there's nobody, so I don't really need to wait. So, thank you for being there, brothers and sisters. I'm going to say, as usual, stay safe, stay healthy. And if I'm allowed to by the nature, I will definitely holler back at you. If you don't agree with me, it's fine. You can come, we can talk. I'm just documenting what's being said. I don't like false narratives. And you can just go through the videos and see when people get on the platform, they always have a chance to speak. There's no rah-rah stuff. I don't like the rah-rah stuff. See? I'm out.
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving middle nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video Kemet and Ma'at before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had, ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody is interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome, awesome, awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Neture classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how, involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class. And all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medu Neture class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Ma'at Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at. Don't forget to share Kemet and Ma'at on my channel. on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/maatforever.